Welcome to Blondchain. I didn't introduce you to our audience. Stalking me in Instagram. Sorry. I should think of it actually, because you covered most of everything. We're gonna cut it. Yeah. What type of NFT would you?
NFT would I read?
Ryan, hello, and I'm very glad to see you here at Blondchain.
Thank you for having me, Anna.
Yes, welcome. And Ryan, please tell the audience what you're doing and how did you show up actually in the blockchain industry?
Yeah. So my name is Ryan Horst, and I run a company called Blondchain Insight Group.
You can help me.
We go by Big Crypto for short. And it is a crypto education company. So we onboard people into the blockchain, crypto, DeFi, NFT world. We teach them how to be safe with their wallets, how to hold their crypto and not get scammed, how to do research, how to know what you're doing in the space so we can convert people from being crypto curious to crypto confident and teach them how to actually make passive income off the crypto that they're holding through leveraging decentralized finance mechanisms like staking and liquidity pool mining and getting airdrops.
I have a question for you. You just mentioned that people can actually make passive income on a crypto, on NFTs and all different digital assets. Maybe you can just a bit, in a simple way, to elaborate on this, because a lot of people think that it's all scam, and they hear about this trading platforms, all those chart boards, and so maybe just in a simple way you can tell how people can at least start, where to look at.
So I won't go into too much detail with it, just to keep everything very surface level. But if you've heard of blockchain at all, you might know that the intention for this technology is to essentially decentralize the internet. And what I mean by that is, in today's current age with the internet, it's all very centralized, meaning it's all very controlled by big tech giants like Facebook and Google and, insert other companies here like Amazon. And when we're decentralizing the internet, what we're doing is we're decentralizing the data. And when you decentralize the data, that is the backbone of what really allows the whole internet system to operate. So currently all that data is being held in centralized data storage solutions like owned by Google and Facebook and stuff like that. Now, when you have something that is decentralized, well, you have to have people that help to have it operate. So just because it's decentralized doesn't mean it's not ran by people. It's just ran by all the people of the world that want to be involved. How do you get them involved? You have to incentivize them somehow, and that is through having them paid out in little rewards, such as for staking cryptocurrencies to keep them the blockchain secure, things like that. And providing liquidity so that decentralized exchanges can operate, which is getting a little bit into the weeds. But those are just some examples. And just the big takeaway from that is just there's a decentralized system, so people have to help it run. So people have to be incentivized so that they do help it run.
So I think the main insight here, if someone would like to give me a free money in a Web3 industry, I shouldn't be afraid, right?
That is not the insight at all. Because a lot of people...
I didn't understand.
Yes, there are a lot of people that will try to offer free money, but you need to make sure that they're legitimate.
Yeah.
So
that's the insight.
Understand that there are people out there that have scams and they're going to try to...
Yeah, but even legitimate people can offer some free stuff so you can start your journey in Web3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you mean free stuff like
rewards
and stuff?
Play and earn.
Yeah, I mean, there's play to earn, opportunities with video games. They're typically not the most, we haven't seen a lot of play to earn games be long sustaining and stuff like that. But there's you can stake Ethereum, ETH, and then you can earn passively on your ETH. You can do things like liquid staking, which is getting a little bit in the weeds as well. But honestly, if you're first getting into the blockchain crypto world, I would not even look at this stuff. The first place to start with is just understanding blockchain.
Okay.
Start with understanding blockchain. And then when you understand blockchain, that's where you can start to learn about the different engines that help blockchain to run. Kind of like how you have a V6 engine and a V8 engine in a vehicle, you can have different engines that help to run a blockchain. Those are the things that allow the blockchain to remain in consensus, is basically what it is. So based on those different types of blockchains, that creates different ways that you can make passive income with blockchain technology. So start off by just learning blockchain.
Okay.
And then after you learn blockchain, then dive into learning Bitcoin. And then after Bitcoin, then dive into learning Ethereum, is the process that we actually teach in our program. And then you start to learn about the different bottlenecks of Ethereum and the problems that Ethereum has, and then how different solutions have stemmed off from that. And then that's kind of the flow that I would suggest learning things before you even dive into the passive income stuff. That is getting a little into the weeds, and it would be difficult for people to understand without the baseline education first.
Here, we're explaining people in a very simple way what is NFTs, blockchain technology, and all those amazing things from Web3 industry. And I really would like to hear your, not even opinion, like your explanation of what is NFT, because people actually don't understand it, and our audience can see it, how I was walking in the streets and was asking people around.
And nobody had any clue, right? A lot of people were probably like, oh, you mean those digital pictures that we don't know why they're there, and the monkeys, and they just didn't understand anything?
Oh shit, I mean, should be about the quality of the picture.
They don't understand that it's even digital picture or something like this. They were thinking that I'm trying to sell something to them.
What are these Girl Scout cookies?
Yeah, it was a bit awkward, but it was good to know.
Yeah.
So the first question, please explain us what is NFT in a simple way, and please hold the microphone.
Absolutely. So I think that the best way to explain anything is to first talk about the problem that it's solving.
Yeah.
And because if people understood the problem that it was solving, then you wouldn't really need a full explanation, because you don't really know how Wi-Fi works, right? You just connect to it. So to talk about the problem, I actually want to talk about a little story of something that happened. So there's this game called Counter-Strike, CSGO, if you guys are familiar with it, where there was this very popular YouTuber named McSkillet, so if you want to like Google this later or something, who had about nearly 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And at some point, Vault, the company that created this video game, actually banned his account. Now, the interesting thing about this video game is that the in-game items, like the skins and the weapons and like all of that stuff, were actually things that people were spending real money on. So kind of like Fortnite, if the skins in Fortnite, or like Call of Duty guns, or whatever games you guys are playing, right? Those were actually worth real money. And his asset value, if you want to call it that, was over $400,000 at the time of his account getting banned. So when your account gets banned in these centralized video games, if you want to call it that, you then don't exactly keep access to those assets that you had. So from one company pushing one button, he lost $400,000 in an instant. This kid was like 18, 19. So when you're at that age, really any age, you lose $400,000.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to be in the best mental headspace. No. Even worse so if you are 18, 19. And that is everything you've built your life upon up until that point.
Yeah. You think life is just finished.
Exactly. And you don't really have the foresight to really see past that. And so one day he got in his McLaren and he started driving the wrong direction on a highway. And he actually got into a head-on collision with a mother and her 12-year-old daughter, and all three of them died. And that is the problem that NFTs are solving. Because in today's world, when you have digital assets, you don't own those digital assets. They're just given to you by a push of a button, but they don't leave the company that created them. They don't leave their holdings, their centralized server. They stay with them. They just say you have access to it. Now, what NFTs are, it actually creates a digital asset that functions independently from the company that created it. So this is what blockchain allows for. It allows for decentralized data storage, right? Centralized data storage means everything stays underneath the one company and they own everything. For example, this CSGO game, they own all those digital assets. Whereas if games were connected to blockchain technology, then they would plug into a database that is decentralized across the world, meaning they can access that data and they can create in-game assets that live on this data layer. So essentially, it's like if all of these digital assets, these in-game guns, these in-game skins, if they had essentially like serial numbers attached to all of them, and those serial numbers could be transferred from individual to individual. And then that's how we would identify all of these digital assets. So NFTs are essentially just digital things at the end of the day, whether it could be a movie, it could be a TV show, it could be a music album, it could be a video game, it could be in-game assets in a video game, it could be anything that's actually digital that you can own. So NFTs are realistically just creating the first reality ever to where we can own our own digital assets for the first time.
Yeah, thanks for explanation. This example just make the whole difference, actually. But let's say someone like my mom watching this video, she'll probably understand, but she's not a gamer. So if we will talk to not gamers, let's say, how they can use NFTs in real life, because that's the most popular question, like why? I'm not a gamer, so okay guys, you can play your own games and hold those NFTs and skins, but I'm not a gamer. Like why? Why do I need to have it?
So what is your mom's favorite thing to do on the computer?
Stalking me on Instagram. Sorry.
Okay, fair, relatable. Okay, does your mom ever purchase movies?
Yeah, but let's say not movies if we're talking about the internet, as far as she's like retired already. So she's checking different, let's say different medicine in the internet, or checking something that's related to health, either blogs, vlogs, or something like this. So everything what's related to health, from e-commerce to some videos.
Okay. I will start by saying that NFT technology does not need to be integrated into everything. There are certain use cases that are not necessary, and it's overkill with trying to create solutions to problems that don't exist. Yeah. So a lot of NFTs are scams for that reason alone, to be honest with you, because NFTs are just a vehicle that we can put value inside of. That value could be, BS. It could be fake value. So
yeah, like I'll interrupt you here, so maybe it will be better to explain what is scam, what is not scam, at least, so people can understand it.
Yeah, so when you're doing your research on an NFT, you really want to look at 3 different things we teach inside of our program. It's the CUA process when you're doing research: community, utility, and artwork. Artwork is probably the least important because we've seen some very poorly drawn NFTs that go for a lot of money. But each of these NFTs, the thing that's special about them is that since there's a unique token address, which is what ties it to the blockchain, so it's the individual, asset, that is what the serial number is. So each company that creates these NFTs, they have a ledger, so a database that they can look at that says everybody that owns all of these different digital assets. So since they have the ability to have access to that, they can provide value to all the people that own these individual things. So this allows for a lot of unique cases, like Starbucks recently launched a loyalty rewards program utilizing NFTs. And this is very convenient for them because they don't have to track like who buys the NFT, who sells it. They don't have to pay attention to any of that because blockchain does that for them. And they can just give value to whoever has these NFTs based on their wallet address. So, which might be getting a little in the weeds for some people, but your NFTs are
like a
held
bank
in
account.
your crypto wallet.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like your street address for your home. So that's where people can send you crypto and NFTs, just like how people could send mail to your house. And by having that wallet address, that is where they know to send those gifts to if you have the utility that comes with the NFT. So it could be integrated into a lot of areas of your mom's life without her even knowing that it's happening. And that is where we're moving towards in this Web3 space. Everybody's thinking we go from Web 2 to Web 3. The reality is we go from Web 2 to Web 2.3 and then 2.5. And we slowly trick everybody getting into Web 3, which is kind of like what Reddit did. Reddit launched an NFT collection and they didn't call them NFTs. And they sold out like crazy.
Yes.
But what does that tell you?
How did they call it?
They called them digital collectibles.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not wrong. But the key takeaway from that, though, is if the only thing missing to allow somebody to sell out an NFT collectible collection like that was to play off the ignorance of individuals. And I don't say that in a negative connotation at all. I say that just in they were ignorant to the idea of what a digital collectible was versus an NFT. And if you have to play off the lack of education to allow something to work, that tells you that the only missing ingredient is education. And everybody's always continuously learning, whether they seek out education or not, because people make mistakes and that makes them learn. So if the only thing that's preventing new technology from taking over the world and how we operate as a society, then the education will eventually just come. So do what you can to learn it before everybody else so that you can capitalize off of that knowledge gap.
Thanks for all your answers, Ryan. It was really super insightful. I think I even understood something and learned something new, and I'm sure the audience as well. Thank you for being here.